Hey, hi all. Thanks for joining today's webinar session on automate your web testing with the ease, the ultimate demo. So I am Webogen, partner solution engineer at Katalon. I work with the partners and customers to enable them with the technical challenge what they face to start with the Katalon or while using the Katalon. And if I talk about my overall experience, I am in this software automation industry from last 12 years. It's almost a decade, and I have worked with almost all the kind of tools. And I have used various tools, UFT, Selenium, Tosca, and I have certified with of these tools. And like from last 2 years, I'm working with Katalon, and I found it's very easy to start with the Katalon. It's very to use. We have the option to write the custom keywords, whatever we want to achieve. If it's not available with the Katalon inbuilt features, we can write the custom keywords. So that is the one of the great like features of the Katalon tool, what I felt. And 6 months back, I joined the product itself. Now I'm enabling other users to start with the Katalon and helping them. Today with me, we have the guest speaker, Ibadullah Khan. So, hey, hi, Ibad.
Hi, Vaibhav. Hello,
Can we
everyone.
have can we have your quick introduction?
Yes, sure. First of all, am I audible?
Yes, you are very much.
Okay, great. So as you know, my name is Ibadullah Khan, and I have around 5 years of experience in automation testing. I have worked with service-based companies and product-based companies in the past, and currently I'm working with Etisalat over here in Dubai. And over here with Katalon Studio, I've been working with around 2 years now. And over here we have everything with Katalon, like end-to-end testing with Katalon. So we have API test cases as well. We have UI test cases as well, mobile test cases as well with Katalon. And we have some bunch of test cases in which we have UI plus API plus mobile as well. So we are pretty much using a whole Katalon architecture in our company right now. So yeah, and today's session we'll cover the API automation with Katalon Studio. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ivan, for the quick introduction. And thanks for
You're
letting us
welcome.
know that your company is using Katalon very effectively, using all the kind of application. Thanks for that information. That is good to hear that
Yeah.
our tool is helping you out with your day-to-day testing activities. So let's start with today's agenda. So today's I will start with Katalon Studio overview. Then we'll have the API automation demo from Ibad. Ibad will tell us how we can use the API automation in the Katalon very effectively. And at the end of the session, we'll have the Q&A. So if you have any question, any doubt, please post in our Q&A section. We'll take it at the end of the session, and we'll have the poll session. So please share us your feedback, how you like today's session. So we'll plan more such sessions like in the future, coming future. So let's start with the Katalon Studio overview. So this is like again the repetitive task, but we need to do that. So if somebody new user, they don't know what is Katalon platform. So let's just quickly cover up this thing. So Katalon platform having like multiple modules in which you can use Katalon platform in end-to-end testing for your continuous testing. And in Katalon Studio, we have the multiple module, as I mentioned. So first we have the Katalon Studio Enterprise, which is nothing but our test generation tool, which is IDE tool. And with the help of Katalon Studio Enterprise, you can automate all the kind of application, whether it's web, API, mobile, desktop, in a single platform, in a single tool. And we can, once the script development is done, we can easily integrate with the any CI/CD, popular CI/CD tools, whether it's GitHub, GitLab, Docker, Azure DevOps, Jenkins. You can easily do the integration. Not much setup is required for the integration also. Next, we have the next module. We have that Katalon Desktops, which is nothing but our the central repository. With the help of Desktops, you can create your requirement. You can map your script with the requirement. You can start your sprints. You can schedule your runs. You can manage your tests. You can schedule your runs. You can do the defect management also with the help of Jira integration. And once you have completed the execution, all the reports will get stored in this Katalon Desktops. It will do the detailed analysis of the report. It will tell you if your script got failed, what was the reason, what is the similar reason of the failure. So it will do the detailed root cause analysis. It will do all such kind of analysis. Next, we have for the execution, we have two modules. One is Katalon runtime engine and another is test cloud. Katalon runtime engine, if you want to do the command line execution, you want to do the execution over the different CI/CD tools, parallel execution, you can easily do with the help of Katalon test runtime engine. And we have the test cloud. Test cloud, if you want to do the cross browser, cross device testing without doing any physical setup, no need to do any physical setup. Just use test cloud. You want from Windows machine, you want to test on the Mac OS, Linux system over the different browser, different particular versions. Or if you want to do the mobile testing on the different devices, different combination of devices, you can easily do with the help of test cloud. So overall, Katalon platform is a one tool which will help you to end-to-end testing, whether you want to do cross-browser, cross-device, parallel testing, everything you can achieve with the help of this one platform. So that's about Katalon platform overview. So let's start with the today's demo session on the API automation. So I'll hand over to Ivad to quickly show us the demo on API automation.
Okay guys, so let's get started with our demo session. So first of all, we'll see how we can automate REST APIs in Katalon Studio, and after that we'll see how we can automate SOAP-based web services in Katalon Studio, and after that we'll see how we can export your existing Postman test cases and then transfer them into Katalon Studio. So let's go ahead and create a new project from here. I'm gonna name it as Katalon API webinar. The type which I'm going to select is API web service project. We have two options, one is blank and one is sample API test project. So this test project contains some already automated APIs which we can utilize, but we'll start everything from scratch. We can select the project location and get ignore file if you want to have one for your project. And the API which we are going to use is basically a demo API which is available publicly, and it contains some bunch of GET request, post, put, patch, delete, all these HTTP methods for you to test. So let's say so since we selected a blank project, there is nothing over here right now. So in Katalon Studio, for every request that we create, we need to keep it in the object repository. So let me right click and select a new web service request, and we'll have to give it a name. So I'm going to give it a name as list users. Request type is RESTful and URL is basically list users, and URL is this. Okay, so it has created the request for us. You can see over here, this is a get method. If you have any different, you can select from here. This is the URL, and it has one query parameter, page equal to 2. If you want to add more, either you can add over here by adding the and sign, and it will be automatically reflected over here. Also, you can additionally add from here as well, and whatever you do over here will also reflect over here as well. So currently, let me remove this one, and over here in this section you can see that there is an authorization option. If your API has an authorization, then you can add authorization from here. It contains barrier, basic, 1.0, OAuth 1.0, 2.0 and everything. Currently we don't have any authorization, so there is no need for us to give any authorization for this request. HTTP header, currently we don't have any HTTP header. We might have to add in the future. HTTP body, this is a GET request, so there is no HTTP body over here, and we are not passing anything from here as well. So, and the validation section, basically if you want to have some validations for your response data, then you can add validations over here. Verifications, this is the script representation of your verifications you can add snippets over here from here as well. And you can play around if you are familiar with the scripts and everything. Then over here there is a variable section. If you want to parameterize your test, then you can utilize this variable section. Then we have a variable editor, which is nothing but a representation of the variable, which is nothing but a script level representation of the variable section. The configuration is basically if your API has any redirects or anything like that, then you can utilize this feature. So let's go ahead and just test it right now. And you can see that it is sending the request, and we got the response 200 status 200. Okay, we got the whole body which was expected over here, and we have the response headers over here, and verification log and validation log is currently empty because we haven't added any verifications or validations. And yeah, so, and this is a JSON format, and if your response is in XML format, you can select it from here as well. And yeah, so this is how we have automated one API in Katalon Studio. Currently we have only created the request in Katalon Studio. Now let's create one request for one post request as well. So let me go ahead and create another web service request. We'll name it as create user. The request type is RESTful, and the URL is, we can copy from here. Copy link address. Okay. Now since this is a post request, so we'll have to select post from here. Again, this is the URL, and we don't have any authorization for it. HTTP header, we might have to add some HTTP header, but let's go ahead first and create a HTTP body. So as you can see over here that we have a HTTP body over here, request body. So we are going to copy it, and I'm gonna select text, and from here I have to select JSON, and then I'll have to paste it over here. So if your body is XML, you can paste XML, and then you can select XML over here. And if you have any other type like form data or file or GraphQL, you can select that option. It depends upon your API or whatever the request body it is sending. And what will happen that whenever I select JSON over here, it will automatically add the HTTP header with the content type application JSON, which is mandatory in this case, because whenever we are passing the JSON object in request body, then we'll have to pass the content type application JSON as well to the server. So let me just save it, and yeah, so this is pretty much the thing we need to do just for sending the request. Yeah, so we have got the response 201 created, and this is the expected response that is shown over here. So we've created one GET request and we've created one POST request, but we haven't added any validations or verifications right now. So our test case would be to have some validations or verifications, right? So for that, we'll have to create a test case. So let's say your scenario is to validate the list user, to validate that we are getting the response from the list user and the status code 200. So let's go ahead and create one test case for it. So I'm gonna name it as get list users and verify status code, and click OK. and it has given us the test case. By the way, you can also create the test case from here, from this option, and it will automatically add the send add this it will automatically add this request into the test case. But let me show you how you can create like that. So first of all, I'm going to add one web service keyword, send request, and in the object I'll have to pass this get request. Simply we can drag and drop over here, and now this test case is sending the request list users. Now if you want to verify the status code, we have another web service keyword for it, which is basically verify response status code. This is the whole library, and you can go through it if you want, and you can select whatever is in your it can whatever can be a part of your test case. And we have to add verify response status code over here. It is asking for some inputs, so let's see what it is asking for. It is asking for response object and expected status code. So what is response object? So basically response object is whatever the response we will get from this send request. Okay, so how we can save the response, how we can get the response from here. So in the output section, we'll just have to create one variable, and we will just write the directly write the name of that variable. So over here I will name the variable as response. So now what will happen that whenever the request is sent to list user, it will automatically save the response in this response variable. If I go into the script mode, you can see that it is represented like this, which is normal. If you understand the scripting, then you will easily understand this statement over here. And over here, obviously, we'll have to now select variable and now give the response. Give the name of that variable name, response. And the expected status code is 200 in our case. Let's go ahead and okay, so for this test case, we are sending the request and we are verifying that the response is status code is 200 or not. So let me just go ahead and run this test case. As you can see, our test case has passed because the expected is 200. Now let's check one failure as well. And in this case, our test case should fail because the response we get from this request is 200, not 201. Yeah, so you can see the test case has failed over here. So let me change it back to 201. Now let's say if you want to verify some data in your response, let's say total pages, or let's say first name Michael. This is this thing you want to verify. Then how you will verify this? So there is one web service keyword which is basically verify element property value. What it do is it verify the element property value based on the condition we gave it. Like first of all, it is asking for response, so we will add that response variable. And now it is asking for locator. Now what is locator over here? So it is basically nothing but a JSON path of that object which you want to verify. And in that it is asking for a value to verify what is the expected value of that path. So how we find the JSON path? So since we want to verify the first name Michael is coming or not, so we will have to find a JSON path for it. So there is some online tool which is JSON path finder. You can utilize this. So what it does is basically we'll have to copy the whole response over here, and you see now we can We can select first name Michael over here and it will automatically give us the JSON path. Okay, so but in case of Katalon, you don't need to go deeply into this and copy this everything from here. What you can do is that, as you can see, I put a mouse over here on every object, and it is automatically giving me the uh, the suggestion for the JSON path. See, data 0 dot first name over here. You can, if I put a mouse over here first name, it will automatically giving me the JSON path for it. So we can directly select from Katalon itself. So I'm going to just give this a dot first score name, and the expected value is string, which is Michael. Let me verify the spelling of Michael. Michael. Okay, yeah, Chael. Okay, so in this statement we are verifying that the response at data 0 dot first name, it is containing Michael or not. Let's go ahead and run our test case. Yeah, so it has verified that the data 0 dot first name contains Michael. Now let me name it something else, maybe like John, and see if the test case fails. Yes, so now this validation has failed because we have put the expectation of John and the actual is Michael. So let me just put Michael again over here. Okay. Okay, so this is how we add verifications into our test case. We can actually add these validations or verifications at our request level. All we have to do is basically go over here, and earlier we have seen this validation verification tab. So let's say if I want to put verifications over here. So what is the difference between verification over here and verifications over here? So this is the scope of this verification is limited to the test case only. And if I put this verification over here, then it would the scope of this verification would be the request itself. So let's say if I utilize this request again in some other test case, then it will automatically have this verifications over here, and we won't have to add another time into the test case. So, and there is another feature of Katalon that you can automatically add verifications into Katalon Studio. You can utilize these snippets, and let's say if I want to verify the status code, so it is giving me the snippet with the status code is 200 or not. So I can put directly over here if it is at the request level. And also you can see that if I want to verify the first name should always be Michael, then what can I do is I will hold control. First of all, I will click on the first name, and then I'll put control and K, and you will see over here that it has added verify element property value over here. So now you don't need to type this thing by yourself. So this is another feature of Katalon Studio. Now, what if you want to add some parameterization to your test case? So in that case, you can utilize variables. So let's say if I don't want to pass the hard-coded values Morphus and job as leader, I want to pass it with variables. So what can I do over here is that we can create variables over here like name and more plus. We can also add job, reader, and then how can I utilize this in the HTTP body? There is a naming convention. So whenever we want to utilize the variable, we will utilize it like that in our test case. So in this way, we can achieve the parameterization from the variables. Okay, so let's just go ahead and test it if it is working fine. Yeah, so now you can see that it is now also working fine. So this is how we achieve the local parameterization. And so basically the main purpose of this parameterization is that basically, let's say if you have some test case for this post request, let me create it from here. Create user and verify. So let's say for this request you have one test case. Now let's say if you don't want to utilize the hard-coded values from here, you want to put something else over here, then you'll have to go over here, you'll have to come over here, an object, and you can see the variable section over here. So what you can do is that you can pass your own values from here. So let's say if I want to pass Ibad and QA over here. So for this test case, the variables has been changed to Ibad and QA. So in this test case, the values which will be passed would be Ibad and QA. So let me just go ahead and run this test case to verify. Yeah, so in this case, the request which has been sent is Ibad and QA. So this is how this is the main purpose of this parameterization. And so this is a local local parameterization, and if you want, this is a good practice that you should keep your URLs in the variables as well, so that you won't have to change it again and again in every request. So for that we have something called global parameterization or global variables. So what we do is that we create global variables in our profiles. So let's go ahead and create one global variable for our URL. I'm going to name it as URL, and the value would be this. Now how I can utilize this global variable in my API? So what I need to do is, this is a convention, global variable dot and then the name of the variable. So this is how we achieve the global parameterization. Let me just copy it from here and paste it over here as well. Save it, and we can just test it once if it is working fine. Yeah, so it is working fine. So the purpose of global parameterization is that you should not be let's say if the URL is changed, you can just go over here and change the URL from here, and you won't have to go again and again in every object and change it again and again. So this is how you can achieve global parameterization. So this is pretty much it from the REST API point of view. Now let's automate one SOAP web service as well for the demo purposes. So for SOAP, we are using this online calculator web service, which contains some operations add, subtract, and multiply. So this is the WSDL for it. So for SOAP, same approach we'll follow. We'll create new web service request I'll give it the name as add. Now the request type over here is soap. Okay, and the URL which we'll have to pass is the URL of the WSDL itself. So we'll go ahead and pass the URL as WSDL, URL of the WSDL. So WSDL basically contains the whole information regarding our web service, regarding our what are the operations that our web service is offering, what are the parameters that needs to be passed, what are the mandatory parameters and everything. So WSDL is like a whole web service metadata that uh, you can achieve, you can get to achieve certain test cases. So over here the WSDL URL is mentioned. Over here it has changed to SOAP, so there is only one operation over here. Now service, what are the service functions? So this is service functions are basically the functions which is offered by the WSDL. So over here I have to click load service function, and it will automatically fetch all the functions available in the WSDL and it will add over here. So currently we have add, subtract, multiply and divide. And when I select load new, currently you can see that nothing is present over here. So how will we get our request message? So when I click on this load new content, it will automatically add a sample request for our SOAP service. So it has automatically fetched that for the service function add, the endpoint is this and the request message is this. Okay, so in Katalon we have a feature that it will automatically add the load function load the service functions, and from service function it can load the request messages, sample request messages for us, and then we can just go ahead and test it from here. Yeah, so we got the response as 6, which is our 3 plus 3, which is our service function add. So 3 plus 3 is 6. So this is how we got our response. And similarly, you can add verifications and validations to it if you want. And you can see that it's automatically added all the header, SOAP action and everything over here. Content type, XML and everything. Yeah, so this is how you can create a simple SOAP request in Katalon Studio, and of course you can go ahead and create a new test case for it, and you can put verifications on it. You can get the data from it and everything. So yeah, so this is how we automate the SOAP web services. And in the last, I want to show you how you can utilize your existing Postman script, Postman APIs into Katalon Studio. So let me just go ahead and open Postman. Okay, so in the Postman, you can see in my workspace, I have some collections over here, and let's say if I want to have this collection, some collection like maybe new collection or no data generation on any collection, I want to transfer this data into Katalon Studio. So how can I do that? So let me just select one collection. So first of all, in Postman, what will I do? I will go over here and I will click on this and I will select export. I will select export and I will choose the format as collection version 2.1 and click export. Let me just export it on the desktop, and now from Katalon all you have to do is go to this option which is import Postman from file URL. Now I'll have to give the file location to it. New collection, Postman collection. I'll open it. I'll open it. Okay, so now you can see that all the functions available inside, all the APIs available inside the new collection, status copy, performance copy, data copy, function copy, all these have been imported into Katalon Studio. So if you want to shift from Postman to Katalon Studio, this is the easiest way in which you can move from here. So yeah, so you can see that yeah, for the patch request, this is the URL, and you can verify it has correctly put the URL over here for the patch. And let's see for the post one. Do we have any body for it? Yeah, so we have this body. What is the name of this? This is functional copy. Yeah, so you can see that the body is also, in case you request of a body, it is also successfully imported over here. It still have some limitations, that it cannot add verifications on its own. So let's say yeah, so currently there's a limitation to this feature, that if you have any verifications in the Postman, currently what I saw, maybe some new version of Katalon might have it right now, but currently the version which I'm using currently, it does not have this feature, that um, that the verifications currently which is in Postman, it does not get copied into Katalon Studio, and the team is working on it. So it might have been launched already, or it might be in the future lineup, that this feature would be available soon. So yeah, so this is our this was a demo for our today's session, and now I want to hand over to Vaibhav. So Vaibhav, you can continue from here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ibad. Thanks for the detailed demo on the API automation, and thanks for covering that how we can do the import from the uh, Postman also. And you have highlighted for like some of the limitation, like it can't directly import the verification step if we have already in the Postman requests. So there are some questions we have in the chat also. We have question from the Rob. Rob like still want to understand that how we can deal with the variables. Like in the, I think Rob is asking towards the when we are importing from the Postman, how the variables, if we are using any variables in the Postman request, how it get import.
Yeah, so for that, uh, what I saw, that when there are variables used in Postman and you import them into Katalon Studio, what happens is that the name of the variables gets imported into Katalon Studio. So you'll have to create those variables then in the Katalon Studio. Maybe you can utilize the global variables section or something like that, and then you'll have a fully dynamic request for yourself.
So,
So what? Yeah.
but what I understood, we need to create those variables manually in the catalog. It will not get imported by default, no?
Yes, correct. So for like to create variables and give them the values, you'll have to do it manually. But
Okay.
from the request, uh, it will automatically paste the whole request body over there. So there would be a convention for the variable itself in the request body.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you. Thanks for the answer, Ibad. So we have one question from Natalia. Like she want to understand how we can make our post requests more customized. Like she want to use the random variables. She don't want to put the variable. She don't want to change the variable value manually every time she want to do it through the randomized. Is there
Mm.
any option? Did you have any idea?
Uh, yeah, I don't think
We
there is
have one
any.
option for the regular expression one.
Yeah, I think there
We
is an
have
option
one
right
option for
now
the
for,
regular.
yeah, for the
No,
randomized
Iman,
variable.
you are. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are using very old version of Katalon maybe, but we have option for the
Okay.
regular expressions where we can give
Mm-hmm.
the formats for the particular type of data which we want to pass on the variables, and it will every
Okay,
time it
okay,
will generate the new sets of data kind of, and we can use that.
okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'll have a go through it with that as well.
Yes, because
And
you are using 8.4 and now we are in 8.6.6 somewhere, and now we have
mm-hmm.
those options.
All right, all right. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so yeah. So Rob is still having doubt like global variables are not created. Yes, Rob. So that's what we already confirmed that variables will not get import. Just the name in your script will get import, but the actual property will not get import. So that you need to create it manually. Okay. So we have one question from the Natalia in the Q&A section. Is there a way to update the JSON field with some automated? Oh, again, the same question. See, posted
Yeah,
here, random values. If, yeah. So Natalia, we have the regular expression. You need to define the regular expressions for that particular variable in which, what format of data you want to pass on that particular variable. So based on your regular expression, it will generate every time new random data for that variable, and it will pass on the script. So you need not to you need to put one time manual efforts to pass that regular expression. From next time, it will do it automatically. So that's you can easily achieve.
Natalie is asking for any document that we can share regarding regular expression. I think we might have covered
Yeah,
that
we can.
in
Yes, yeah,
yeah, Katalon
we have that.
documentation.
Yes, we have that. So yeah, Natalia, I'll share I'll post it so you can go through that. And yeah, we have another question, I think, in Q&A section. Let me check. No, we have only one. Okay, guys, if you have any other question, you can post in our Q&A sections, and we can go take up your questions. Okay, so Ibar, till that time, we can do the just recap for the today's session. What we have covered, you can just recap.
Yeah, sure. So so in this webinar, we saw how we can. This is basically not the mobile testing features. It is API testing features. There is a type over here. So there are some highlighted features. We saw that how we can import our existing test artifacts from Postman to Katalon Studio. And basically, Katalon is not limited to Postman. And for your SOAP web services, you can import from SOAP UI as well. So if you have any test cases automated in SOAP UI, you can also export them and then import them into your Katalon Studio. And we saw how we can achieve parameterization. So let's say if you want to have multiple requests for some different type of data, or maybe in future uh, you want to pass the data from the CSV file or Excel file, then that's you can utilize this parameterization feature, and you can look more deep into it, and you can achieve parameterization. And then we saw how we can handle the WSDL. We saw that how Katalon Studio automatically reads the WSDL, analyze it, and generates the operations for us. And it also generates the sample request for us, just like any other tool. And we had a plan to discuss GraphQL as well, but due to some time constraint, we couldn't. So if you guys know about GraphQL, it is a different type of like similar to REST APIs, which only has one endpoint, and there is a dedicated support for GraphQL in Katalon Studio. So it covers all the query and mutation features of GraphQL, and you can pretty much utilize everything you want with this feature. So this is a short recap, and I think there are some other questions which we can look into.
Yeah, sure. So there is another question, how to insert APK curl from Postman to Katalon. So
API curl. I'm not sure about it. API curl, I don't understand the question actually. So, Vaibhav, do you have any idea regarding this?
API curl, I also never like work, but when I search in our forum site, so there they have mentioned like if you are working with the curl is nothing but the like you can execute those command on the Windows. I'm not sure I'm like got the correct response or not, but we have the like similar questions in our Katalon forum site also where they are asking for how to do the import from the
Okay.
Postman. So we will we will check and we'll reach out to you with the possible solution on this API call, because I am also not sure about this API call one. I'm also a bit new to this keyword, and same for the IBAD also. So
Yeah. You can
we will
always reach out to the Katalon community website and ask the questions over there as well. So if you post this question in the community, I think you will get your answer in minutes, or if not in hours, you'll get your answer. There is a big community over there and it's still growing. So
so
so that yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Vaibhav.
if like you are passing your REST API request using curl command, so curl command is nothing but the Windows command. So for that, you need to run your that Windows command. So for that, we have options available in the Katalon site. So I can share that option with you. So I will share the document for the same. So I will upload in the letter in the this Q&A section. So there you can, I'll try to answer this question. So
I think Rob is asking how to deal with a big request. So you can deal with it. You can deal with it pretty much like straightforward. Like you can just put the payload into your request, and like in a normal manner, you can deal with it. I don't think there would be any problem regarding a big request. Like I have
yeah, so
tested with around, I think around 300 lines of payload. I have tested it with, and it was working fine with it. And it also depends on your Java specs as well, or your machine specs as well. So yeah, Web, if you are adding something.
yeah, I was telling that for, to deal with the big request, we have always option to divide our split our script request in a smaller parts. We can do that. Means I haven't never worked on the big request, but Ibad, can we do that
Mhm.
like split our big request on a smaller bunches, and we can do that?
Uh, I'm not sure how we can split it. Um, I haven't gone through that feature yet. Maybe it's available or not. But I can tell you and I can assure you that I have dealt with around 300 lines of payload and it was working fine with it. So yeah, I think it can handle pretty well. Katalon can handle big OS pretty well.
So Rob, you can give a try and like if you tell like how big a script, if it is not like are you, if you are not able to work with the Katalon using this request, you can always reach out to us. We will help you with our support team and product team to make it work for you. So we have that option also. So you can you can always reach out to our support team. So we will help you with that. I think Ibad, that's all we have. Like we have covered almost every discussion or every Q&A questions. So that's all we
Yeah.
have for today. So let's just quickly cover the startup plan. We have starter package. So like if you are a new user to Katalon, it's a golden opportunity for you. You can utilize our starter package. Before explaining the starter package, we have started the poll section. Please respond with us today's session, how you liked it. Please share the feedback so we can plan more session like this. So please share your feedback on the poll. And for the starter package, as I was telling, if you are a new user, it's a golden opportunity for you. You can get a discount of 30% or up to a $15, $1,500 discount. So start using the Katalon, get the more discount, explore the tool. You will love the tool. It's very effective tool. It's you can do everything with this tool. So please avail this offer and start using the tool. So, and if I talk about our resources, so you can always reach out to our Katalon forum site, community site, where you can see what our technical discussion is going on. If you have any technical challenge or queries, you can post your queries also. Our support team will respond to you as soon as possible. And you can want to know about our upcoming webinars, so you can register to this upcoming webinar links where you will get the previous webinar details also. If you want to see the videos from the previous webinar, direct request also you can raise from there. And if you want to register for the upcoming webinars, that also you can do that. So that's all about our today's session. So thank you, Ibad, for the detailed demo on the API automation, and thanks for the lovely audience. Thanks for joining, and thanks for sharing your question and doubts. Thanks you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much,
Ibad,
Vaibhav.
if you want to add anything else, so
Yeah, sure. So, thank you very much, Vaibhav, and thank you everyone for joining. So, yeah. So, if you want to reach out to me, you can always search me on LinkedIn, and also I'm active on Katalon's community as well. So, you can always ask questions over there, and we'll have we'll do our best to help you over there as well. So, thank you guys.
yeah, thank you, Ibad. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the lovely audience. So thank you. See you soon.